This is my cover for Aleph is for Asherah, and Ni is for Neteo. This is the 7th lecture. Now, if you saw it and you saw my videos, you would think I saw this first before I started those videos, but you would be wrong. The parallels between what she's saying here and what I say there made my heart sing. I took a big cognitive and theological leap in these videos, and I think that's going to pay off handsomely. At this point, she's talking about the divine name of Yahweh and the incident of the burning bush. I have a completely original spin on what's going on there. It's not incompatible with the classic tradition as she presents it. In fact, I would say it extends that tradition into the 3rd dimension. If you saw Aleph is for Asherah, you'd know what I mean. You should watch this whole lecture, but certainly everything from here to the end. Here's the bottom line. I've started stressing the polytheism of the Old Testament because its ultimate revelation is not monotheism, it's Trinitarianism. And we need to be careful to keep the individual identities of 3 particular Canaanite gods firmly in mind: El, Yahweh, and Asherah. And just like in Christianity, we need to be careful not to confuse the 3 persons of the Trinity. This is her 12th, talking about El's tent. He had a tent. Baal and other storm gods had temples of cedar. Yahweh has both. Yahweh is ultimately El, just as Jesus is ultimately God the Father. But again, we have to be careful not to confuse the persons of the Trinity. In another one of her lectures, she talks about the sudden and mysterious rise of thunder gods everywhere in the world at the expense of the older sky god, from the Middle East to Greece, even all the way over to India. I cannot find that part in her lecture, but I remember it vividly. And here's lecture 13, where she's talking about the Song of the Bow, which I call David's Lament. I was very gratified to see that scholars zoomed in on Prince Jonathan's bow, just like I did, although I'm sure they would find my take on it pretty shocking. She also stresses the ambivalence and high literary quality of these stories, which is what I worked very hard to convey in my videos. And once again, the parallels between them and this lecture are so striking that you'd swear I saw this before I made those videos, but you would be wrong.